Internet, we need to address a fixation. A fixation with cheese. You know, guys, I think I figured out the real reason that millennials are hated by boomers, and I think it is because of their love of viscous, ridiculous amounts of cheese in cooking recipes placed online. I don't know why this has happened, but for some reason there's an overwhelming, influx of cooking recipes related to these weird Facebook pages that all are focused around cheese. Too much cheese. You're looking at that cheese being poured in right now and you're thinking to yourself, that's delicious. I love cheese. I'm a millennial who likes yoga, kombucha, and American cheddar. And I'm like, no, you're not allowed to, no, don't do that anymore. I don't want to see that. Think about it, guys. This is kind of looking a little bit like adult content here, okay? I'm not feeling that. You know, this cheese is one color shift away from being the largest bukkake on the East Coast. Anyway, now that I've turned the cheese white and put that image in your head, here's a cum cake. Hey, Internet, allow me to introduce you to one of these click content farms, of which I was completely surprised by their origins. But this is Chefclub. Chefclub's kind of gone under the radar in comparison to companies like Tasty or any of those other guys that put razor blades in strawberries and tell you that it's gonna, chop them up nice and easy and not make a mess. Basically, what Chefclub does is make recipes that you will do. By that I mean you will sit there in your underwear eating Doritos and go, wow, that looks tasty. I wish I was eating that. And that's it. That's all the content's for. They have millions of subs, millions of followers, and apparently there's a certain subsect of people that just can't get enough of this. I don't know who you are, but you need something, like literally you are one bad day away from becoming Nikocado Avocado, okay? Like your life could go in either two directions, normal job, or you have that mental breakdown that leads to this.
I love cheese.
So, as we watch some Chefclub content today, where did this company come from? You're looking at those characters in these, TikToks and YouTube shorts, and you're thinking to yourself, this kind of looks like an East Asian content farm, maybe East European. And I thought that too. I thought it was gonna be either one of those things. However, they don't have a Mandarin or Cantonese speaking version of their website or pages anywhere for that matter. In fact, it's primarily English, and the languages that they do list do not include those. And apparently this is just a startup. Wow. Nice to know Silicon Valley is still putting out the big hitters. It's really a shame. I think it would make a much more interesting narrative if those were like Line characters, because they look like characters from Line. And maybe there was some like ulterior motive here, but no, compared to some of the other content farms, I guess they're not that egregious, but their recipes are ridiculous, and I'd love for people to take a guess at what they're gonna be, because I'd never be able to guess. Some of y'all are sitting there staring at this block of American cheddar and thinking to yourself, I'd take a bite out of that. I wake up at 3 a.m. and eat my shredded cheese guilt-free. And no, stop it. Bad. Go to horny jail. Like, if we're gonna rate cheeses on a board right now, American cheese, them Kraft singles, but all of that should be at the bottom, okay? That is the worst kind of cheese ever. So to base an entire recipe off of the worst kind of cheese is like a recipe for disaster. It's like pizza made in not New York. It's just not gonna be good. And before somebody in some state says their pizza is the best, I would beg to differ. You know those 1950s like housewife cooking cookbooks, where there's like a sausage cake and there's like mayonnaise breakfast weird, you've seen it. There's some pictures of ugly food on the screen right now, but this kind of feels like the millennial equivalent of those things. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things that maybe people made, but it's not. Nobody's gonna remember that, and nobody wants to think of that as something that they ate. And it's as simple as this recipe appears right now. Seriously, genuinely, would you eat this? Would you really eat this? This is more calories than you should eat in a day. Some of you take that as a challenge, and I think that says a lot about you. Shout out to my lactose intolerant gang, because you guys are literally shitting your pants right now. Listen guys, I have tons of bowel issues. You know how awful it is to eat cheese and then like blow your ass out for like a half an hour? Like, it is the worst thing ever. And here in America, we wipe our butts with paper, literally sandpaper, and not a bidet. And I could probably use like a deep hosing in there, especially after eating bacon, cheese, and eggs. Like, woof. Shout out IBS gang, represent. Oh my God, that's so much. So this is a Halloween recipe video that Chefclub did. And you know, guys, I'm not the best cook. I don't know if you've ever watched my cooking videos. They're kind of bittersweet now, but if you watch them, you might notice that I'm not a very good cook. You know, I can grill with the best of dudes, but you know what? All I need to do is burn chicken for like 40 minutes and I'm good. But please tell me, chefs in the audience, is this proper cutting etiquette? Is this safe? Because I don't think it is.
Just carefully make the outline into the dough.
I like skipped forward a couple seconds because I lack patience. And now there's a butter hand, and I'm also not going to give anybody the context for how a butter hand showed up in this video. I just want you all to look at a hand that's made out of butter, and that somebody went through the painstaking task of carving out a hand in the shape of butter.
So I have some lightly steamed broccoli that I need to add some melted butter to the top of. So I'm going to melt my butter hand like so.
Anyway, guys, you want to see something else that's related to butter and also horrifying?
Butter, ragu, dip that thing in there, dip it, dip it, dip it. Now this combo smack. I gotta try that.
You know, I'm beginning to think that this rush to TikTok fame or this rush to internet celebrity stardom might be detrimental to the mental and physical health and well-being of the younger generation. I don't know if it's just me, but I would say that you should stop eating butter. I'll be honest, after seeing it a couple times now, it's not that horrifying. But the first time I watched it, I screamed. Probably one of the most obvious critiques to make of Chefclub is like the absolute excess in not only calories, but like volume of ingredients. You know, some of these things might not be that bad if they're like reduced to the size of like can fit in the palm of my hand kind of deal, considering they're so rich and a lot of them are like keto friendly, I guess. But there's like something ridiculous in the sheer like mass of these burgers. Look at how big these burgers are. I find it absolutely ridiculous that these burgers are so... I can't eat a burger that big. Like, a half-pound burger's already approaching like a level of insanity for me, okay? Like, I start feeling it in my chest when I'm eating a burger that big. So who the hell is eating a burger this big? By the way, that thing he's shoving in the burger is like a mixture of ice water and whiskey, of which I'm not sure how the whiskey froze when it's like 2 parts whiskey to 1 part water. It's like a lot of whiskey, so I'm not sure how it froze. I'm betting shenanigans here, but I'm just gonna say that's a lot. Anyway, he's putting whiskey ice cubes in the burger. Now this video we're watching right now is the video that introduced me to Chefclub. It is the definition of excess. I have not seen a recipe this ridiculous ever in my entire life. So you might be thinking, where's this one going, Diesel? What is this recipe gonna be? Why is he getting McDonald's, right? Well, think about it like this. When you make a bread or you make a pastry, you have a base, you know, a base ingredient, you know, you mix up a flour. But let's just skip all that part of making the flour and instead use McDonald's French fries as the basis for your bready powder. You know, because French fries from McDonald's are very healthy, and when you quadruple them times 4, you create a recipe for Nikocado avocado. which, by the way, he has been doing videos with other porn actresses and adult content creators. So I just want to say that I told you so. So here's where we get the, you know, the cheese clip that I've shown you guys, right, from Chefclub, the absolute excess of cheese. Granted, I don't think this is the absolute maximum amount of cheese they've put in a dish before. Like, it's amazing that he made this gigantic meatloaf and cheese tater tot disgusting piece of mess, right? Like, that's an impressive thing that he's cooked right now. It's impressive in the same way that a train crash is impressive, you know, where it's like big and it's like a spectacle, right? But like, what happens after this? Like, this is too much food to take a slice of it and eat it. Like, it is just too much. Like, cake is rich. It is fatty, right? But this is like cake times 12. It's just, it's so much more. I think the question with most of the Chefclub recipes is, are any of them good? And I would cook them, but I'm at home and not at a place where I have a stove that I can use, so I'm not gonna make them. But, you know, we'll put a pin in that and say that I'll make something at some later date. But, you know, if you want to see me actually do another cooking video in the future, you might want to subscribe and hit the bell and do all those things. I just wanted to introduce you to Chefclub today. Follow me on Twitter as I update you for the next big project that I'm working on. And, yeah, go away.